I was talking to a client of mine who was explaining that there is a lot of stress and tension between the teams that he works with, within his team and with the teams he works with. And there is, of course, a lack of performance as well, or a drop in the quality of performance, which they are struggling to address and improve. And whenever they raise the issue of quality of performance, the other people get defensive. And so far, what they have been doing is the classic escalation methods, hardcore escalation. Now, why is it not working? That is because this is escalation when used ever so often, too much. That is a very toxic situation. That is a very toxic tool to use because it breaks down trust. It disallows the opportunity to have a conscious dialogue, and over a period of time it is not sustainable at all. And no wonder all over the world there is a talk about empathy, increased empathy within leadership and teams. And that is not just a fluffy word, it is important. So we should not just use the toxic escalation route, but actually leverage empathy as a way of creating an emotional bank account between teams and within teams. Now, what does that mean? Let me take a scenario. Mostly, oftentimes we would say 80% of your working scenarios, or 80% of the time, there aren't hardcore firefighting escalations, right? Let's say 20% of the time is when you have that really bad escalation points where everybody's stressed and there is firefighting. That 80% of the time, then add to the emotional bank account that your team has with the other team or within your team. What does that mean? What are some actions you can take? One is acknowledging or giving a listening space to that other team, right? So understand their challenges, and seek how to create win-win between each other. Understand them at a personal level, not that you have to become best buddies, but know a little bit about them, right? And not just go in for escalation at the drop of a hat. So as you do that, through that 80%, you actually make your emotional bank account with that other party very, very strong. So at the time when that 20% strikes and there is a huge crisis, you can make withdrawals from that emotional bank account where you can, ask them a lot more from them as you would normally do. Set hard boundaries, set hard deadlines as needed, right? So you can have much tougher conversations because of the 80% of the time you have actually built up that emotional bank account. So, and in that case, if you need an escalation, of course, you can do that too. But again, balance that escalation with trust and empathy. That means if you can avoid escalation by actually engaging in a conscious dialogue, that would be most appropriate. What does a conscious dialogue look like? That means the moment you're starting to get stressed up, take a moment to calm your central nervous system down, and ask yourself clarifying questions. What am I seeking to solve? What is the best way I can address the resolution? What is the best way I can give the other party respect and still hold them to high standards of accountability and solution? So these are the intelligent questions, or wiser and more structured way of approaching things that actually can lead to a quicker result or quicker resolution if you approach it that way. And especially as a leader, I would highly recommend that the leader calms her or his nervous system down and not get carried away by stress and activate stress in others. Why? That is because at the end of the day, strategies are strategies. They're highly effective, right? But for the strategy to work, the human being who's executing the strategy, whether it's you or whether it's the other person, has to be engaged. If the other person feels disrespected or feels at the bad end of the stick, right, you will not get the best out of them. So if you want to motivate and influence others to give their best performance and not just meeting the standards performance, that they go above and beyond, and there is a quality, there is a great equanimity, or there is great creativity or camaraderie between teams or within your team, empathy is the right tool to deploy. And I'm going to share this graph with you. So on the x-axis is time, and the y-axis is the ease of working together, or the emotional bank account. The blue line indicates what could be currently the case in terms of, if you're always using escalation as a hard route. So the wave pattern of interaction is rather sinusoidal. There are ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs, which is not a great effective way of performing or being together as a team. But if you start taking actions that adds to the emotional bank account, probably the conflicts will still be the same in the initial few weeks, but over a period that smooths, the amplitude of the waves will reduce. That means the amplitude of conflicts will reduce. And over a period of time, even despite there being crisis in business or world situation, over a period of time, that curve will smooth and will be exponential, making life easier for you, for your team, for others, making you a great leader. You'll be known all over your company, your industry as that leader who can be calm under stress, bring together, influence, inspire people, and create amazing solutions within record time. Now, who doesn't want that, right? So let me know what you think about that. And if you want to share a particular scenario similar to this that you're grappling with, let me know. And of course, I'm happy to offer you my one-to-one coaching or group programs, which actually is tailored to leaders thriving despite conflict, creating harmonious environments, and thriving as the best in class leaders. Just DM me and let's get talking. Take care and see you soon.